Good morning, beside 1A. Welcome to our subject Purposive Communication 01. This is the collaborative effort of Group 2. Our lesson for today is all about the different types of speeches. Let's now begin. Speech. It is a formal address or discourse delivered to an audience. This means that speech is any type of formal discourse intended to be orated to an audience or audiences. These are the type of speeches according to purpose, which is to inform, to entertain, to demonstrate, and to persuade.
What comes first into your mind when you hear the word information? Today, we are talking about informative speech. As you can see in the screen, informative speech defines as intends to educate the audience by providing information about a particular topic or a subject, where it seeks to give a better explanation, to picture a certain topic, to supply unlocking information, and it exerts more effort in providing an accurate and projected information. Here are some examples of informative speeches. 1. A computer programmer is speaking about new software, which the speaker show and tell that the thing is worth important 1,000 words to hold the true to his or her statement. Second, a travelogue about the tour. What is this all about? Using visuals are much more effective and efficient for a speaker to help enhance the audience understanding. And lastly, a teacher telling a student about something. Here, a teacher must be relevant, giving a reasons to listen to your speech, and also engage them by demonstrating what you are telling. And that is all about informative speech.
Persuasive speech is to convince or to encourage audience to accept a perspective. So the aim of persuasive speech is to inform, educate, and motivate audience to do something. You are essentially trying to sway the audience to adopt your own viewpoint. Examples. First is to sell an audience an idea. Selling an idea means changing the way that people think. Unfortunately, people are wary of changes. So if you're going to sell your idea, you need to be aware of and adapt to any preconception that might prevent that audience from embracing the change your ideas imply. Second, to promote a specific product. If you are using presentations to individuals or small groups as a way to promote your product, the goal is to educate your audience. Help them solve a problem and they will buy a solution. Your speech shouldn't be about you or your product. It should be about the problem of your audience that experiencing and need to know how to solve those problems. Last example, to convince someone to take action.
Entertainment speech is to captivate attentions and entertain audiences. Has one purpose, to amuse and entertain the audience. It's not intended to share information or to persuade. Entertainment is a form of activity that holds the attentions and interest of the audience or give pleasure and delight. It can be idea or task, but it's more likely to be one of the activities or events that have developed over thousands of years, especially for the purpose of keeping an audience attention. Here are some of the examples of entertainment speech. First is after dinner speech. It's one of example of entertainment speech that shows just what you should say if you are asked to be an after dinner speaker. Like, sample your speech ought to be light-hearted and set the tone for an enjoyable gathering. Second is comedian monologues are great for auditions. They make everyone laugh, build your confidence, and loosen the auditors. You may think of the stance of comedian's routine or maybe a late night talk show host opening bit, but literally it refers a speech given by a character in a book, film, or stage performance.
What is demonstrative speech? Demonstrative speech teaches an audience how to do a specific thing, even if you're an expert at your topic. The process of writing a speech which assures the audience has learned something new or something that can be challenging. As a demonstrative speaker, you must be there and guide, taking them through a process of show and tell covering of each step from start to finish. Example, a demonstrative speech is that students giving a demonstration speech will want to avoid saying, "You should bake the cookies for 2 minutes," since that is not how everyone does it. Instead, the students should say something like, "You can bake the cookies for 10."
These are also the types of speeches according to delivery, which is extemporaneous, manuscript, impromptu, and memorize.
Extemporaneous speech. A speech that is given without any special advanced preparation and is delivered without the help of notes and others. It is also similar with impromptu speech. The essence of this type of speech lies in answering a question in a school assignment or tournament in front of many audience. Extemporaneous speaking does allow us to take some time and take notes before entering the stage. While giving a speech looks like the terrifying task, isn't it? The art of extemporaneous delivery is not that hard to master. After all, there is a reliable custom essay writing service that can provide you with a brilliant text if you don't know how to write an extemporaneous speech.
Impromptu speech. Impromptu speech is delivered on the spot with no chance to prepare or memorize. The example of impromptu speech is job interview and recitation.
Manuscript speaking is a written text read to an audience from a paper script or teleprompter. This method involves reading word for word and is typically used when there is a limitation on the start and end times of a project or the speech will be telecast. They wrote it by hand or with the help of a typewriter. A handwritten book, poem, or other documents that bound together. When a speaker writes out their speech word for word, then that document is called manuscript. However, when the speaker speaks from that manuscript, then the speech is referred to manuscript speech.
Memorized, speech that is committed and delivered entirely from memory. This can be done by preparing a written speech first and then start memorizing word by word. For example, in our elementary and high school days, all the chosen ones, or what we call the graduation speeches, were memorized. It was very impressive, right? But the disadvantage of memorized speech is that sometimes speakers may forget a little line of words that cause the entire speech destroyed. Therefore, you must need amount of time to memorize if you prefer a memorized speech.
Finally, these are the types of speeches according to occasion, which is graduation, awarding, tribute, and farewell. Graduation speech. Graduation speech is speech given to a graduating student which is usually delivered in a graduation. For example, the valedictorian delivered his or her speech in front of many people. Awarding speech is a speech used to celebrate, inspire, and recognize success of students, teachers, or professionals. For example, a salutatorian gives his or her words of gratitude. Farewell speech is a speech given by an individual leaving a position or place. Tribute speech is a speech that shows heartfelt gratitude or admiration and respect to a dead or alive person or group of people.